Hey everyone, welcome back to the Abom79 Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Booth.
And your co-host, Abby Booth. Hey everybody.
Welcome back to the podcast. I think we have a few things to talk to you about today.
We do.
We have been wanting to go over a few machining books, something that we thought would be helpful to many people out there, especially people that like vintage books, because we've got a pretty good collection of them around here, some books that I've had for a long time. And we thought it'd be a good opportunity to mention a few of these and let you guys know about them.
This has been a weird week.
It has.
This has been a very weird week. But this morning was really bizarre. Why don't you tell them what happened to you? Well, I mean, it didn't happen to you. You just happened to witness it. We don't know what happened yet exactly, so...
Well, I mean, I saw what happened. This morning, today is a day that, for me, it was an early day. I had things that I was just trying to do to get caught up. So I came to the shop early this morning because I wanted to get one of my videos edited. And then while that video was rendering, I wanted to go run a couple of errands. So I left the shop to go run a couple of errands. I was just up the road here in the turn lane waiting to turn left. We all had the red light. This is a major intersection. The crossroads had the right of way. They were green. And there was a guy on a bicycle riding north on our side. And I just so happened to, I saw him ride by. He was like on a big beach cruiser bike, just full speed. He went straight out into the road, and the car's going this way. There was nobody there. As soon as I saw him, I was thinking to myself, dude, you're not even going to slow down and look? And he didn't. He just rolled right on out there. And as he got out there, I noticed him look, and there was nobody coming. And then there was two lanes of cars waiting to turn, over here. So he went in front of them, and then those cars had the right of way next to them, going west. There was a truck and a trailer going. The cruising speed, they're probably doing 45, something like that.
Very, very busy intersection.
And I think the guy on the bike realized at that moment that he made a mistake. And I think he tried to maybe stop. He didn't make it. The truck didn't hit him. He was pulling a utility trailer, and the guy on the bike ran into the utility trailer. So he got hit by the trailer, and all I saw was this guy and his bike, and he had bags and stuff. He just went flying through the air.
Everything slow motion?
It was all slow motion.
Yeah.
He was spinning like this, and he landed face down in the very middle of the intersection. And there had to have been 50 cars there because it was a major intersection. We were all waiting. And I could not believe that I just saw that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I didn't see like blood or anything like that, so I didn't see how he was damaged because he landed face down. And as soon as it happened, there were several other people that jumped out of their car and ran out there to him. I never saw him move. He did not move. I saw a couple ladies come over and like kind of put their hand on him, maybe seeing if he was alive. I don't know. And shortly after that, the light turned green for us to turn left. And because there were so many people out there already, I just went ahead and went. If there was nobody there, I would have stopped and got out and checked on the guy. But there was 50 people there. But that was crazy, and the guy that was driving the truck and pulling the trailer, he did no wrong. He had the right of way. It was green.
We probably didn't see him.
He was just going through the intersection.
Yeah.
And the guy on the bike just never stopped, never slowed down, never looked, just started riding straight across that where the crosswalk is and didn't see the guy coming, and then boom. It was wild. If he would have been there a second sooner, the front of his truck would have hit him.
That's so scary. It doesn't, we don't know what happened. I tried to look it up. I'm going to try to look it up. I hope he's okay. I know our EMS was there really fast because it's just right down the road. But anyways.
It was just crazy. But, Abby and I have noticed that a lot around here. There's a lot of people walking, riding bicycles. We have just a lot of people here. And we notice that a lot, that these people that don't drive, that they're used to walking, riding bikes, they just go all over the place. They never seem to look. They're not looking at the lights. They're not going when they should.
They're not using the crosswalks.
They don't use the
like
crosswalk.
No.
They go across through all the traffic. And a lot of times, our lights are green and they're taking their time, getting across there. So we notice it all the time that people aren't really paying attention. But, man, if you're on a bike, you got to obey the rules of the road too, and a little bit of common sense. Like, slow down and look to see if anybody's coming. If the guy's going to go across there, that's one thing. But he just rode out there.
And you're a motorcycle rider. You are always very aware of motorcycles, bikes, anything. We talk about that a lot. But
defensive, you have to be prepared when you're on a motorcycle. Whenever you see cars like come to you see they're going to come up to a stop, in your path, basically, you prepare. You put your hand over the brake lever. You get ready to stop if you have to. You're always looking ahead to try to plan if somebody pulls out in front of you or whatever. Yep.
Well, maybe we should move on to something a little bit less depressing.
Well, that was just that. I mean, that just happened a few hours ago. Yeah. So it was. I'm still thinking about it because I have that image of that guy spinning through the air and then landing face down.
I still think about the one where we helped the guy when we were in South Dakota. Is that where we were?
Yeah, that was South Dakota.
And that was so scary. And
as a guy fell asleep. He worked the mines, one of the mines there, and he was on his way home and fell asleep. Rolled off in a ditch and flipped his truck over, and it happened right before we pulled up.
Yep, and we did not see it, but there was a couple out there just waving their arms, trying to get help. And
it was in a corner too, so everybody was like trying to get everybody to slow down.
I tried to look that one up too. I hope that guy ended up being okay. It was one of those things where we were there helping him.
Yeah, we helped him.
He actually lifted his shirt up and to show me his back, and he was like, "Will you just check to make sure my back's okay?" It was not okay.
Yeah, it was messed up.
But I made that choice at that moment to not tell him that because I didn't want him to be hysterical. I mean, he was already, and so I was like, "You're okay, you're okay." It was terrible. I mean, internal bleed. It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen personally. So anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this has nothing to do with books. So let's...
Hey, it's a podcast, so we're allowed to just kind of
went off on the
chit-chat
rails
with you.
there.
But that was something that was that happened today. It's still on my mind because I saw that. But,
so everybody, please just take a few extra seconds, look around you, just take your time. You don't have to get there as fast as you think you do. Just everybody be safe, please.
We wish everybody would have a little bit of extra patience out there on the road. We all have to share the road. So
I actually would like to ask this, since people are listening from all over, is the road rage everywhere, or is it just here in Pensacola? Because the driving has been... I love driving in the car. Love it. I've always loved it.
I don't.
I did LA traffic. It didn't bother me. Like, it takes the time that it takes. But people are so impatient. I mean, they're either going 10 miles under the speed limit, or they are absolutely weaving in and out, tailgating. Absolutely. So I want to know if it's like this everywhere else, or if it's just like an isolated situation here.
I think it is in the cities.
Yeah.
I think when you get out in the country, it's a little bit, lightens up some. But the cities, I think the culture of driving has just gotten kind of out of hand here.
It just makes me want to go slower, and I'm kind of I like to go. I want to be up to speed immediately.
Abby would probably do really well drag racing.
She likes to
accelerate. She doesn't speed, but she likes to accelerate. So if the speed limit is 55, she wants to be from 0 to 55 in like a second.
It's 100% accurate. Well, I don't want to waste my time. I don't know. I like going fast. I don't like speeding. I don't necessarily speed. I just like being up to speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we all like going fast.
We do. I've never done the drag strip, though. I would like to do it. You think my Subaru would... It's a turbo. You
could just hit the gas and go full speed all the way to the end. Never let off.
You might have to try that sometime.
Yeah. Okay. I was telling her about testing tune night. I used to go out there and you could... Anybody, whatever car... You weren't racing. You were just time trialing. All it was. She would have loved that.
I'm very competitive, so I don't know. I want to do it. Now I want to try it.
You can drag race. I mean, if you're talking about just a local drag race where anybody goes, you can drag race with any car you want.
Yeah.
As long as they deem it safe.
Yeah.
But you can take your everyday grocery getter car, or you can take your race car. It doesn't matter because it's based off time.
There's like probably all like young guys out there. They're all like, cute, good looking guys. I get out with my I take my helmet off. Do you wear a helmet? I'm assuming you do. Sometimes.
You don't. I cannot remember I always did.
Of course.
I took my motorcycle helmet because just in case the truck flipped or something.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if you have to. They might make you wear a helmet.
Yeah, I would think that they would.
I don't know. They probably do.
Well, maybe that's something we'll have to try. Let's at least go to the track sometime because I have never been to the Five Flags.
Five Flags Speedway is a circle track. Our drag strip closed. That was Holt, Emerald Coast Dragway. They closed up. Mobile is probably still open. The Mobile Dragway. That would be the closest one.
And we gotta go do Talladega.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite race, so I really, really want to go do Talladega. I want to camp, but I just want to go anyway.
Yeah.
So I will have to, I do want to make a comment about NASCAR really quick, because I know there's a lot of people, specifically women probably, that are like, ugh, no. But you have to go. I went to the Atlanta track. My mind exploded. It's the banking. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe it. Like, you can see it on TV, but when they're racing, you really can't tell. I'll be a forever fan because of just how cool I thought that whole experience was. So we got to go. I want to go to every track.
Yep.
I even have started liking the road courses.
Yep.
So,
we haven't talked about this either, but Abby and I actually enjoy watching NASCAR. That's sort of like my Sunday thing. I like Sunday to have off. I like to cook barbecue, and I want to watch NASCAR.
And football. We have two TVs
Well, now
going.
it's football season.
We have two TVs. So I have my red zone going, and we have the race on. So
but
unless the Chiefs are on, and then that's different.
You do the multi-view.
Yeah.
So on YouTube TV, that's what we use. You can do the multi-view.
Yeah.
So you can have your football game and your NASCAR race on at the same time and switch back and forth which one you're listening to.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, it's winding down towards the end of the season, but we've watched, I think, nearly every race this season. So. And last week's was a
good finish.
Chase Elliott won that race. That was a fun one. They gave us some action out of that one.
Yeah.
But we enjoy watching NASCAR, and we talked about it would be fun because we like to go and travel and do some adventures. It would be fun to hit up some of these tracks because I've never been to a real NASCAR race. All I've done is the local stuff.
Seriously, I mean, first of all, it's a marketing extravaganza, which is just fascinating to me. But I had the best time. When those cars go by you, it's awesome. I want the little head thing so I can talk to you during the race. So we're doing that.
Yeah.
Let's get some of those.
That's going to be one of our trips one of these days. We're going to, go off on a trip and, going to one of the tracks will be part of the trip. Yeah. So camp in and go experience
Talladega.
all that.
I mean, I want to do Daytona, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Talladega would be a fun one to do too. And our friends at Hasty Bake, they go there and they set up their trailer and they cook food. So we've kicked around the idea of maybe like joining them.
Hasty Bake barbecue and Talladega. That would be really fun.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I had a full circle moment that I wanted to just briefly touch on.
Well, I want you to tell them about it. And are you going to mention the previous attempt?
Oh, yes. So I did. This was a podcast that we lost, and I have no idea what happened. But neither one of us can find the footage of me, which you guys probably would be fine if you didn't have that. But it just didn't make. The sound wasn't right, and it was so. It was
we lost that one. One of the first.
It was the second.
2 or 3.
I think it was the second episode.
First 2 or 3 that we recorded.
Third episode.
And somehow we could not find the footage of Abby.
Yeah.
It was just the footage of me. And so that one just became a wash. So she wanted to retouch on this.
So that's 2 that we've had that have been a wash, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went to fashion school in Los Angeles, the FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. It was an incredible experience. But one of the reasons that I got into fashion originally was because of the old clothing like Edith Head, the movies, costume designers. I absolutely was obsessed with the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the clothing. They spent so much time on it, and everything was so beautiful, the color combos, and anyway, even the black and white movies, you can imagine what the colors were like, even though you couldn't see them. So anyway, Carmen Miranda was one of my very favorites, and I have a Carmen Miranda paper book from forever ago. And I got this at an antique store, and I don't have the first page, so I do not have the actual Carmen Miranda
was that removed?
part. It was, yes. And I did it for a school project, because when I did my first fashion collection, it was based off of Carmen Miranda. And so I used it in my presentation, and I don't know what happened to it. So, but anyway, if you can...
So what is that?
All right.
What kind of book is it? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this is a paper doll book, and I don't even know if they make these anymore, but basically you have the one character of the person, and then all the rest of the clothes on the inside can be cut out and put onto the paper doll. So again, this is a very old-fashioned child toy, but anyway.
Is that what that would have been for kids?
Yes, I mean, it would have been for anybody, but yes, paper dolls were typically for children.
Okay.
But her costumes were just incredible. If you do not know who Carmen Miranda is and you're Googling it, please do. So she's probably, you would recognize her as the Chiquita banana lady.
Is that?
So the one with the fruit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, but her movies were great. I believe she was from Brazil. I love the musicals, the costumes, just the whole production. So anyway, I know that it has nothing to do with anything, but I just think it's cool. I found this while we've been cleaning, and I just wanted to bring that up because it's.
And so you've had that a long time, huh?
And the reason that it is the full circle is that my degree is actually not in design; it's actually in product development. So I am now helping you develop products, and I just think that's really, really cool that's what I went to school to do. I wanted to do manufacturing. That was what my kind of specialty was, and so I just think it's interesting that now here we are,
yep,
helping manufacture products for you. So
absolutely. So you're into manufacturing,
yeah,
but you're in a different manufacturing than you thought you were going to be getting into when you were young.
Yes, I definitely am. The fashion industry, it's an interesting thing, and I became a little disenchanted with it. I was never really small, so there's not the fashion industry wants size 0, and I am not a size 0, even though anyway, no one's a size 0 hardly. So, but anyway,
do you know when you acquired that, like how old you might have been?
I think I probably was 10 years old.
Oh, really? Okay. So
yeah, I mean this one's an old one. It's 1982. Is when this one was printed.
Okay.
So, and again, most people probably do not even know who Carmen Miranda is, and that's
okay. I didn't.
I mean, you know,
but
Mae
we've
West.
all seen her, right?
Mae West is, her clothes, my goodness. But anyway, I love Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. So I hope that if you guys haven't watched some of those old movies, you should go back because the clothes, they're so great.
Well, that time period, everything was so great when we look back on it, you know, just looking at the machine tools.
Without a doubt.
You know,
the same care was taken for the machine tools as it was for clothing at that time.
Everything was designed with so much elegance to it. You know, we've talked about that, like with the packaging of the cutters. Anything that was developed back in those days and manufactured, they also put the same kind of effort into the packaging and the marketing and the branding. You open up some of these catalogs and there'll be a specific advertisement in there for a certain brand cutter. You know, it's amazing.
Yes.
And I know that still is today, but it's just different. It just looks different. It's a different vibe, different feel.
Well, you and I are just kind of old souls, I think. We've both agreed to that, you know, we were maybe born a little later than our sensibilities, you know, lined up with. But anyway. Well,
that's pretty cool. And I was wondering how long you've had that book, because the first book that I was going to mention, I bought, I want to say around when I was 15, maybe younger. I don't know, 14, 15-ish. And it's the first book that we're going to talk about in the machine shop books that we wanted to discuss.
Please dive right in.
So the very first one is The Technology of Machine Tools. This is my very first machine shop related book that I've ever owned. And I bought this at a yard sale in the neighborhood when we
really?
lived. Yeah, when we lived in Pace. That's where I went to high school, next county over. And I remember there was a couple in the neighborhood that had a yard sale one weekend, and I walked down there, and they had a bunch of books. And I ended up buying that without even realizing the correlation that this was going to have with my career.
That's so crazy.
But I remember, I bought it. He had I'm assuming maybe it was his college books. I really don't know. But I ended up buying a few of them. But this was the one that I stuck with right here. Especially after I started going through it and reading some of it and seeing the photos. It goes through everything that someone learning the machine shop trade is going to want to be able to look at and see and read. They have great photos in here of just about everything you're going to encounter in the shop. All of your measuring tools, so it starts with safety, and then it goes into all of your measuring tools that you have to learn how to use, and then it goes into layout tools like here's the chapter for the layout tools right here. You got a guy over here this is the kind of stuff that I want to teach you, so he's using some spring calipers there and a combination square and a scriber, and you see they've got a chapter here on layout tools, laying out. But it goes through the entire curriculum where it's going to teach you about all the different machines. In particular, it starts with like a drill press, and then it goes to the lathe, and then it goes to the milling machine, and then it's going to cover other machines such as grinding. I cannot remember. I think there's like a jig bore section in here, but all of the tooling that is also related to machining, milling, turning. So like right here, you can see the horizontal cutter set up in a horizontal. But this book right here, if you're looking for a great machine shop book to read and learn from, and there's still a lot of really great stuff that's valid in here. If you're running manual machines, everything in this book is valid. So the main section that I started using a lot of, and you can see that I've got this one kind of separated right here. I even have my notes. This was calculating the surface footage on the shaper. So they have a great section. That was the one machine that I didn't mention that's in the book, is they have a chapter here on shapers and slotters.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I think they use Cincinnati, the Cincinnati shapers. But look at that. Let me pull that up again. Look at that photo. Look at that chip coming off of that shaper.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So all the information about shapers is in this book right here. Anything you need to learn about shapers is in here. How it operates, how it works, the mechanics of it, and why it does what it does. Then it goes over all your, setting up work pieces, shaper feeds and speeds, tool bits, grinding all the tool bits. It even goes into cemented carbide tools, and then they got another section in here on slotters, which is basically a vertical version of a shaper. So here, I'll just show you. Here's a picture of a big slotter. A guy's putting like a keyway or something inside of a hub.
I love the blue overprint there, so they
Yeah.
ran that through twice to get that. I think that's very cool.
See the milling machines, Cincinnati milling machines.
That's a great photo.
So anyway, technology machine tools. Now I do know that these go back quite a ways, and there's a lot of different editions. This one is the second edition. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what this one is because they had so many different versions. And let's see how old this one is. So this is copyright 1977.
Older than you.
Yep, copyright 77. So I would say Technology and Machine Tools, second edition, copyright 1977. If you're looking for the one that I got right here. So I would say if you're into the manual stuff, this is a good book to look for. The older the better. And it's just a great book. So bought that myself when I was about 15 years old in the neighborhood I lived in. And here it is, still my favorite machine shop book that I have.
see your nose in that book all the time.
Every time I've ever been out there on the shaper doing a shaper job, I have this book out there. And you can see that's why I've got this bookmark, because I have learned a lot in this book about shapers right here whenever I got the G&E.
Well, you like to check to make sure that what you're thinking is accurate.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way of doing that.
Absolutely. So there is one more really, there's actually a couple more really great books for the shaper, and I want to say that you have it right there. Is that the one that has the shaper in it?
Oh, it's this one. It's the number 2.
Okay, it's this one right here.
Yeah. So this is the first book that Adam gave me to read, and it has been incredible, the amount of knowledge in this book. So this is Machine Tool Operation, part 1 and part 2.
So here is part 2.
Yep, and here is part 1.
I think this is a different edition because they had different
It is.
colors. I think the blue one's a little bit older. This red one's a little bit newer.
Yep.
But they're basically the same book. Both editions are great. I have, and I think I forgot to look for it. I'm sorry. I think it's right there. I ought to grab that. Let me go ahead. Tell them about that book while I grab this one here.
Yeah, so part 1 is safety, measuring tools, bench work, drill press, lathe, and forge work. Yeah. And then part 2, and by the way, I did buy, I bought a second set just because I wanted to be able to have one at the shop too. I got these on eBay, and they have had some on there. I think part 2 is a little harder to find than part 1, but that one set that we had, I believe we bought it at an antique store, maybe?
No,
is that one?
We bought those, we were at Hunter's garage.
Oh, that's right.
We were digging through. There's a guy that we know. His name is Hunter, and he's got a garage. He took over this property, and I believe it belonged to an uncle or a cousin. I can't remember.
Agreed.
And it was basically like a time capsule, and he had a bunch of books in there too, and he had that set of books, and we ended up buying them.
We bought a bunch of books.
Yeah.
I even got some very cool ones for myself. He had a lot of Egypt books, which I love Egypt. So I bought a book of hieroglyphics, like the definition of all the hieroglyphics. I've never even seen that. So anyway, so for part 2, it's shaper, planer, milling machine, grinding machine, hydraulics, metal bandsaws, metallurgy, and cutting fluids.
Great.
So I'm still in part 1.
So those are some of the newer ones. So all right, these are the older version of the same book. Machine Tool Operation Part 1, Lathe, Bench, and Forge. All right, but the one that I have been into a lot is Machine Tool Operation Part 2, Drilling, Planing, Milling, and Grinding. And the reason why I wanted to bring this book up is because it's got a fantastic chapter on the metal shaper. So also, when I've been out there doing jobs and making videos with the shaper, I've had this book out there referencing that, and I've learned quite a bit, and I wanted to pick out this one little spot in particular. I learned how to make a finishing tool for cast iron whenever you're trying to cut and finish cast iron on the shaper. This book right here taught me the technique that they developed way back in the day on how to grind and sharpen and hone your tool for finishing cast iron, and it's in this book right here. It's this right here. If you've ever watched any of my shaper videos and I showed you how to hone the tool bit, you get your tool bit in the lantern, you get it locked down, you get it squared up, and then you kind of kick it forward a little bit, a couple of degrees, and then you lay a stone underneath it on your workpiece, and you work the stone back and forth, honing the edge of your cutting tool parallel to your work surface. That is from this right here, this book. So this is another fantastic book. If you guys are going to go and look, these are, the pictures, these are all like hand drawn diagrams.
Will you tell me what year that one is?
I was going to look that up and see.
The Machine Tool Operation Part 1, the one that I have is copyright 1959.
Okay, so Machine Tool Operation Part 2, copyright 1922 and 1937.
Wow.
So this one must be the 1937 version of it right here. Yeah. Printed, this one was printed September 1947.
Wow.
So this one, so now we know. I probably read it before, but I couldn't remember. So 1947, but having the pair.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one of my viewers gave me this book long time ago, several years ago, and it was probably the pair.
Yeah.
And I think somebody gave these to me, and I ended up putting on the bookshelf in the other room where all my books stayed forever. And I ended up pulling it out and reading it whenever I got the shaper and started getting a bunch of info about it in this book. So check out the Machine Tool Operation Part 1 and 2. Those are also fantastic books if you're looking for some good machine shop literature. So those are a couple of really good books right there, and I'm sure if there's any on eBay, they're going to be snatched up, right?
I hope they are. Please save them and protect them and read them.
All right, so I have a few more here. We're not going to go into great detail, but they're very similar to the technology machine tools that you guys can look for, and they're excellent books. This is my other favorite one right here. General Industrial Machine Shop. Look what's on the face right here. Not only is it the shaper, it's our shaper. It's the G&E. That's the shaper that they use in this particular one. That's the same shaper that we have. I thought that was so cool. But this book is filled with a lot of really great photos and information, just like technology and machine tools. In fact, I think I've got this one bookmarked to the shaper as well. And you can see, if we open it up, you can see the shaper diagram on the inside, teaching you how it works and why it works the way it's designed. So this is a good one to look for, the General Industrial. So this one, I find it very relatable to our shop, everything that we did over the years in Booth Machine Shop, because we were a General Industrial machine shop.
That book actually ended up next to your chair in the living room.
Yeah.
And you referenced it a lot, I have noticed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I still do occasionally. I haven't done it in a while, but I always have a book or two next to the chair. And when we're relaxing in the evening watching a show, sometimes I like to go in there and read and catch up and learn. You can learn a lot through these books.
I'm actually kind of interested. After I read the Machine Tool Operation, I'm excited to kind of check out some of these other ones to see if the general idea of what they're saying is going to be similar. And I know
it
that.
Will be.
But, there may be different processes that one author writes that another one does not. So I'm kind of interested to see the difference.
Right. Yep. Well, let's go through some of the other ones. So this one was given to me by Mr. Pete.
Hey, Mr. Pete.
A lot of y'all know Mr. Pete on YouTube.
I love Mr. Pete.
Yep. He is your your YouTube machine shop teacher.
He's one of my favorite people ever on the planet.
Great people.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Pete. Great people. So anyway, he gave me this one right here. This is called Metalwork, Technology, and Practice. Look at the pictures on that. So cool. So he gave me this one. It's another good one to look for. Also this one right here, Exploring Metalworking. Basic fundamentals for all of your machine shop fundamental work right there. So 2 more great books. And then here's another one very similar to the first one, Machine Tool Technology.
Will you tell me the dates on those? I'm always interested to know.
Machine Tool Technology. Let's see.
I hope that books don't go away. Like, I know everything's online now, but there's nothing like holding a real book.
This one is copyright 1968.
Okay.
All right. Exploring Metalworking. Oh, it's got some cool stuff in here. Exploring Metalworking. Copyright 1972 for this guy right here. Metalwork, Technology, and Practice.
So this was a note. This was inside that book.
Yeah.
It says, "Thank you for your penny. Enclosed is your personal copy of Exploring Metalworking by John R. Walker. We appreciate very much this opportunity to place this text in your hands for examination and evaluation. Your frank comment on Walker's new book after you have had a chance to look it over carefully will be appreciated. The school price, Exploring Metalworking, $4.80.
Okay.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I figured all of these books are probably or were probably used in colleges or even tech schools. I would imagine that's where these were probably used at.
So this is their catalog. It says 1973 catalog.
Okay.
So this is all of the books that they have. There's other metalworking ones in there. That's interesting.
Very
Electricity cool. and electrodes. That's very neat. I hope that stays with. Yeah, keep that with the book.
Put those back in here. I thought there was a note in here from Mr. Pete also, but I don't know. Maybe we took it out. I'm not sure. All right, so I was on the Metalwork Technology and Practice. This one was copyright 1969. This guy right here. All right, the General Industrial.
You think that one's older?
1963. It's a great book. Absolutely love that one. I think we already did these guys right here. We didn't look at Technology Machine Tools, did we? Or did I? I can't remember now.
I can't either.
1977. I think we said that. But like I said, there's several versions of this. So those are all fantastic books that will teach you a lot of things about machine shops, the tools, the processes, the machinery. But there's one more book that I want to mention that I also highly recommend, and this is a book that was not only given to me but also written by a good friend of mine, Mr. Tom Lipton. Metalworking, Doing It Better. So this particular one, you can see it says Johnny Booth on there. Back whenever we started doing our YouTube channel and we started making a few friends like Tom out there, he had already been selling this book, and I think it was doing pretty well. And he ended up sending me and Dad one. So I've actually got two of these. And this, I've always left it on there because Tom wrote that and stuck it on there because he wanted my dad to have one as well. So anyway, Tom has a fantastic book about machining, welding, and fabricating. And he's got a really great sense of humor. So there's a lot of jokes in there too. A lot of shop stories about things that he's experienced, you know. So
that's so cool.
Check this out. And that's a good way to, you know, kind of help him with his YouTube as well, you know. So anyway, those are some of my favorite books and books that I would recommend if you're looking for some really good stuff to read to help educate you on machine shop.
You know, I did find one. Let me turn around.
Yep. Yeah, we have a lot of fantastic books. These were like the main ones that I wanted to share.
I found this one on our travels. It is called The Amateur Machinist, which is I don't think I can call myself a machinist yet. I have to run a lathe before I call myself a machinist, but
I've never looked in that one.
I haven't either, honestly. I need to read this. So I'll read this next after, but this one's an older one. Colgate University Physics Department is what it says, what is stamped on the inside. And I love it because there's math on the inside cover, which is just fantastic. I am terrible at math.
Most of these books that I have shown have stamps in there where you can tell that they might have been in a library at some point.
This one is 1934.
Oh, that's old right there. Yeah.
And then this is another one that I found that is one of the most beautiful books that I have ever seen. So this is called How to Run a Lathe, which I will be reading.
Isn't that a South Bend book?
South Bend Lathe Works, yep. And this one is, let's see, 1944. 1944. And it has gorgeous hand drawings in there. And then
was that a lathe made out of wood?
The first one?
Like tree branches?
Yes, it looked like it.
The first lathe?
Yep. Early tree lathe is what it says.
Oh, yeah. See, I had actually heard Sonny. I was talking about Sonny, guy who used to work with us. He was saying that some of the first lathes were made like this. Basically, you pull a tree down like this, put it under tension, hook a rope or a vine to it, and you wrap up the piece that you're going to spin. And as it goes up, it spins your workpiece.
Okay, that is insane.
That's what's going on right there.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, huh?
That's very cool. Did he ever get to run one?
It's called an early tree lathe.
That kind of blows my mind apart right there.
And then there's a French screw cutting lathe about 1740.
Wow.
Right here. Yeah, so the tree lathe, that's pretty cool. See, look at that. But that's pretty cool because I remember Sonny telling me that, and that was the first time that anyone had ever told me sort of like the origins of a lathe, on the principle of a lathe. Basically, you're spinning a workpiece around on its axis, and you have a tool there to cut it, and so they're using a tree to basically just pull it, and make it spin.
That's just crazy.
It's wild.
It is wild.
So we hope that you guys maybe you have some luck and you can find some of these books. But I mean, this is the kind of stuff that is fun to look for when you go out antiquing. If you're on a road trip, we always love to seek out antique shops on the way, especially if they're next to the interstate. And now I don't have enough patience to go through all of the book sections.
I do.
But Abby will.
Love books.
But you don't often find too many machine shop or metal related books. It's usually everything else but that. But it is a good way to find some of these things. And of course eBay too, I'm sure.
We have done so much looking in antique stores through our travels that I have gotten to the place, and I'm not trying to be cocky about this because I probably could blow out my own theory, but you can almost tell when you walk into a booth whether it's going to be machining related or not, just because I recognize things right away. Most people probably would never give them a second thought, but I'm like, oh, this is an old guy's booth. This is it. So like this is going to have something that I need because it's like there's a type. So and
you can tell if it's someone that was probably a machinist or worked in a machine shop.
That's right.
There's a big difference between someone like that and someone that was just into hobby, fix-it type things. Sometimes you find a lot of like woodworking tools.
Yeah.
But obviously we like the metalwork and the manufacturing side of things, so we like to look for that stuff.
But I think you can usually like peek in and know right away whether it's worth looking through those books or not. Well, I kind of look through all the books usually, especially if they look old. But my eye goes right to machining things now.
Yeah. So speaking of books that we look for, we like to look for these, obviously. Abby's got books that I'm sure she looks for. I also like to look for and collect like old cookbooks. But not just any old cookbook. Some of those like smaller, like little pamphlet type books that they gave away with grills and stuff back in like the 50s, and you can see a different era.
Yes.
When you see the grills that these guys are using, they got like the open air rotisseries on top of a barbecue grill.
The ingredients are just lard is used, and it's like slab of, and they mean that. I mean I think it's so cool to look back on those. We do have a lot of.
But
those.
we found quite a few of those, and so we got a little collection of those kind of cookbooks as well.
I found this weird one. This is not machine relating at all, but it's the Random House Vest Pocket Dictionary of Famous People.
A pocket dictionary of famous people?
What would be the reason to have this, do you think?
That's my question too. What's the purpose of that?
I don't know. I mean, like, I just turned to the M's. So I went to Herman Melville, 1819 to 1891, U.S. novelist, author, notably of Moby Dick.
Oh, okay.
And that's all it says. So these are it is just a dictionary of famous people.
Okay.
Random.
Well, you never know when you might need to look up somebody.
That's true.
Look up an author.
But yeah, we have so many books in here.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of great books. I mean, there's still this shelf. You can just see the edge of it in the video there, but we've got a lot of great books. I got a full set of Audell's. That's another cool book because they had a whole series, and we've got that entire series up there on the shelf.
Ugh.
Yeah, look at the laid drawing.
I mean, it's the drawings for me usually that end up being my favorite thing. But yeah, I really like collecting these books. I'll never get tired of it.
Well, some of my other favorite books that we have are the actual tool catalogs. So obviously the Starrett, we've got quite a few Starrett. A lot of these were donated to me over the years from viewers out there on the channel. So we always appreciate all of the books that we get. And by the way, I want to give a little shout out to our friend Ernie.
Yes.
You know who you are. He recently sent us a box full of books, and we haven't even gone through them all yet.
I haven't had a chance to look, but I cannot wait. And we'll all definitely show some on the podcast once I get the thing out. But
yeah. So Ernie, I know you listen to this. Thanks for the books, and we're going to go through them. We saw slide rules down in there, and
do you know that his adorable wife made me a quilt? I'll have to show you.
She did.
It's
beautiful handmade quilt.
I cried. I didn't cry in front of her. I just think that's so sweet. I don't know, a quilt. I think that is just extremely personal. I think books are very personal too. I don't think you just give a book to someone. Like, it's just I don't know.
Well, we'll have to do a follow up and see the books that Ernie sent. He had a really cool letter in there, talking about sometimes you just get to a point in your life where things that you collected and you've had for years have a little less meaning to them, and it's ready. You're ready to let them go to the next person.
Well, they need to go to you want them to go to someone that is going to appreciate them and love them, and that's exactly what you're getting when you give it to This one was sent to me.
Oh yeah.
And since I'm a graphic designer, so this one's great too, and very machining related because of all the type setting machines and the presses and everything for printing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love books.
Yeah, we love our books. I've had this one, the Greenfield Tap and Die. One of the previous episodes, I think we were talking about threading. We were using this Greenfield Tap and Die book for the photos that Abby had put in the video there, showing the tap wrenches and the die stocks. So I love the old catalog. But that's the kind of stuff that you should be on the lookout for too if you're going through vintage bookstores or a flea market or an antique shop. Is look for this kind of stuff too, because we have found a lot. Like for example, we found a Nicholson file book. I think it's over here somewhere. Look, there's some more of the machine tool operation right there.
Oh, yep. That's my second set that I bought.
Was that other set. But you can find a lot of really interesting books out there in the vintage markets as well. So keep your eyes out for those. Yep.
Books make me happy.
Yes, they do, and I love our little collection. And we're having to kind of thin out what we have here. We basically are going to have to try to sell or get rid of about half of our belongings. And that's what we're slowly going through.
They're not going to be very many books, though.
Well,
I've gotten rid of some books, but they were...
Most of the books that I wanted to keep, we have moved into this room, and then the rest of them that I deemed less desirable for me personally, just because they're newer or maybe things that, I've only got so much space. So the rest of the books are out there, and we're eventually going to be selling those things.
And some of if we decide to get rid of any of the catalogs, which is a major if, we do have some that are repetitive. And again, if we can get them in the hands of someone that would really appreciate it, we want to do that. So we might be doing that on eBay.
Yeah, the catalogs are great because they're great reference material. They're great learning material too, because you like that Brown and Sharp book up there. You go through that Brown Sharp catalog, and you learn about the tools that were made, the precision tools, the tool makers' tools.
Well, I remember we found one. It was a Brown and Sharp, I believe, and you did not even know really what it was, and we ended up finding it in the catalog, and you got to learn all about it. So that's a cool moment to be able to have.
I bought one of those up there on the shelf behind you. I bought one at an antique. We went to some kind of market. It was like a Saturday flea market type thing, and there was a guy set up, and he had a bunch of books, and he had one of those books out, and I ended up negotiating a price and buying it, and he was so excited that I bought that book. He's like, I'm so happy that this book is going to somebody that appreciates it.
Yes,
that's why he was so excited.
Yeah,
I think he sold to me for like $20 or something.
I feel the same way though. I mean,
and he was so excited that somebody stopped and asked about that Brown and Sharp catalog, and he didn't think that was going to happen. So that was pretty cool.
Now I want to go antiquing. There's never a time where I don't want to go
antiquing.
We haven't. I have withdrawal.
Some of our favorite is we've had really good luck up in Ohio and also Arkansas. Arkansas is a great place for some antiquing.
It's crazy the type of things that it's our type of thing everywhere we go in Arkansas. Almost everyone we go to, we're like, look at this one. The Midwest is really good, but we haven't really gotten to do like the East Coast, the northern East Coast, which I'm really excited to do that because I know
there's a lot of really great stuff up there because we have Instagram friends that we follow, and they find some incredible
finding
things
these things.
There.
I know
the Rust Belt just seems to be full of metalworking archaeology. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It really is incredible.
Well, I think that about wraps up our...
You didn't have anything else on the list that you wanted to discuss today?
You know what? The only other thing that we were going to talk about, has no relation to machining whatsoever, is music.
Music? You want to talk about some music?
I love music. Just as much as I love books.
It was something that I talked to Abby about. I said, this might be a fun subject for a podcast because music is something that I've never talked about in any of my videos. But people that watch my Instagram and Facebook have kind of caught on to the music that I like, because I stick to the music that I like. And it's really not too broad of what I like. I kind of have a little bit right here that I hold on to and what I like to listen to.
Mine is about as big as this house.
But Abby has, subjected me to a lot of music that I wasn't aware of over the years. And honestly, I enjoy pretty much all music. I really do. I kid you not, I can go from super heavy metal to bluegrass, old school country, and some that I actually really, really enjoy is like orchestra, like symphony type music.
Well, you have a thing for cinematic scores.
Yeah.
Specifically Hans Zimmer, who is amazing.
Yeah. He makes some amazing music. The music, for example, in The Dark Knight, that's
Great
his score.
movie.
Interstellar, that's his music.
Another great movie.
Yeah.
God, that music in that is...
And he's done so many great movies, and then we got to watch a documentary about him and how the man is just talented. He's just so talented how somebody can approach him and say, would you be interested in making a theme, a song, music, whatever, score for a new movie that we're going to make? And he basically, he goes home and he thinks about it, and like within the day he's already got a sample made.
Yeah.
It's incredible what he comes up with, but the music that he creates is incredible.
Writing something that you've never heard before,
you have to come up with the theme.
That's unbelievable.
You're watching a movie, because that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older, and I really appreciate the artistic and creative value that goes into creating movies and music.
Yes.
But when you have a really great score, that is what makes the movie so great.
Well, is it because the movie is so great that the music is, or is it you know what I mean? Like, it's just they're both equally as great.
They
Do
are.
you think?
I think.
Yeah.
But the music sets the mood. Interstellar is a great example of that. I mean, that's some of the most incredible music that he's ever created, and you always hear that music referenced on Instagram and other videos and stuff. But
okay, so tell them your favorite band.
My favorite band of all time is Tool. I absolutely love Tool. I love everything that they have ever created, all of it. I absolutely love it, and I listen to it probably nearly every day.
So do I.
I listen to Tool.
Their latest album, I think, is one of the greatest albums that has ever been created. That is just my opinion.
It's my opinion too. I will agree with Abby that is probably the greatest album of all time when it comes to rock music. But I think it's hard to put them in a genre because they don't like to be considered rock, heavy, anything like that. They're just Tool. Tool is Tool. But we both love that newest album that came out in, I think it was 2019.
I'm ready for the next one.
August 2019. I can't believe it's already been that long since they came out with an album. And I was hoping they were not going to wait that long to come out with one, but we've been getting some little snippets here of info that they are going to start recording some music pretty soon, hopefully.
So is that the best concert you've ever been to?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Tool.
I went to 2 Tool concerts. One was here, Pensacola, and the one was in Tallahassee. It was on the same tour. So I got to see the same show twice.
Which is so cool.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Not only was the music live wonderful, they put on a really great visual show as well on all these screens.
Were the shows the same?
Yeah.
Like, basically, there's going to be variations. His mood probably changes,
yeah, I think he was he had a different look at both shows, and I think maybe the songs were slightly different. Like, they don't do the exact same songs every time,
right?
But the show was the same. The screens and everything were the same. But incredible shows, it really was. So
I have never seen them in concert. I want to.
Maynard James Keenan is such a interesting guy, and I've been trying to learn a little bit more about him on YouTube. There's he's starting to do interviews and stuff now. He's got his own vineyard out in California, Really interesting individual. Talented. His music is just incredible.
I started with The Perfect Circle. I came to Tool later, but A Perfect Circle is where I started with him.
Yeah, Perfect Circle.
Another great, incredible band. So
yeah, absolutely. So Tool and Maynard are like, you know, that's my favorite band of all time, but I have several that I like, you know. I also really, really love Chevelle.
Me too.
I love everything that those guys do.
Their new album's great.
Yeah. Every time they come out with an album, it's like, it seems to be better than the last.
Yeah.
And I like how every couple of years they come out with a new album. So I really love Chevelle, and I love listening to that. But here recently, what I wanted to mention was that I rediscovered an album that I used to love that I kind of fell away from and haven't listened to in years and years and years. I've always been a fan of Alice in Chains, and I grew up listening to Alice in Chains back in the mid-late 90s and through the 2000s. But one of their very early albums, I think it was their first album, it's called Facelift, came out in 1990. I rediscovered that album because the last time I listened to it was on CD, so that was a long time ago.
We were watching something on YouTube.
Yeah.
We were watching was it the girl that...
Yeah, there's a girl that watches music videos of musicians that she's never listened to. And it was Alice in Chains, but it was their unplugged concert from 1996, and they were singing Down in a Hole. And I was like, you know, I got to go back and listen to some of this music again. And so I downloaded the Facelift album, and also Jar of Flies. That's another album of theirs. That was from 94, I think.
The shop has been full of Alice in Chains.
So
sure.
So Facelift is one of those albums, and this is how I used to listen to all of my rock albums. You start from the first one and you play it all the way through, every single song. You don't skip it, you just listen to it. So I've been doing that here lately in the shop and in the truck, is listening to Alice in Chains. And like I said, I have rediscovered some old favorites.
That's so cool.
Lane, I believe it was Lane, was the lead singer at that time. He passed away a long time ago, but his voice and his lyrics are actually really incredible. When you can sit down and really pay attention and focus on music that you enjoy, really focus on it. Put some nice headphones on.
Oh yeah, Tool in the headphones is it's a totally different experience than
it's the best way.
It is.
No distractions. You can't be talking to somebody. You can't be letting somebody talk to you. You can't be watching TV.
Yeah.
You just immerse yourself. Put on. I like using Bose over-the-ear headphones, and you just sit back and close your eyes. Maybe have a cold drink there, and listen to Tool or other of your favorite music. But Tool is a great example.
Yes.
You can really, really start to appreciate what goes into Tool when you listen to it that way.
Yes.
The music is incredible.
So
Absolutely.
My favorite artist and my favorite concert are both the same. I am a huge fan of Amos Lee. I think he is incredible. I have seen him, I think, 7 times in concert now.
Really?
Red Rocks, that was
that
amazing. It was so great. I went with my parents because we all love Amos Lee. But if you have not listened to him, please check him out. So Arms of a Woman, Flower, the Mission Bell album cannot be beat. I love it. But anyway, I went. One of the things that he does is he sings with his songs with a symphony orchestra.
Oh, I love that.
You would love that show. I have goosebumps. So one of the shows that I saw him at, it was a symphony orchestra one, and he came out and played a couple songs before the symphony came out, and his mic was not working. And so the guy that he's like, this, we tested everything was fine, but now it's not working. We got to get this fixed or whatever.
Somebody sabotaged him.
He walked to the front of the house, to the edge of the stage, and sang my favorite song. Well, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I was like, I can leave. I can just leave right now. This is the pinnacle of this. His voice, unbelievable. No mic, nothing. Just his voice, just belting out to the crowd, and everyone was quiet, which doesn't usually happen that much. I thought I was just I had gone to heaven. It was unbelievable. And then, of course, the symphony comes out, and it's so incredible. So please check him out. He's so great. I love concerts. I have been to a lot. My mom and I went through a phase where we were like, we are hitting every concert that we can get our hands on, and we did.
Yeah.
And I've been to some very cool venues. And Los Angeles, I saw a lot of cool people there. And I mean, up and coming people that are big now, in smaller venues, and very famous people in small places and after hours. So anyway, I got stories for days, but I will not name drop in this one.
Well, I love the orchestra.
Yes.
And, I remember when Metallica had Metallica in the orchestra.
I went through a really big Metallica phase in high school. Metallica phase. Yeah,
I've gone through all the Metallica. I still love Metallica. I just don't listen to them like I used to.
Yeah.
I love all the classics, the Injustice for All and the Black Album, and but I have a thing for the strings, though. Anytime I hear violins in music,
me too.
I can hear it every time. I'm like, whoa, that's some strings going on there.
Yes.
But I do love music. I'm just not I really don't know a whole lot about music, but I can tell quality when I hear it, though. And that's why I was mentioning Tool, and I know that you get this. Abby will tell you the same thing. It is such a high quality of music that these guys create. A lot of you guys listening have a lot of respect for the artwork and talent that goes into machining, metalworking. The same could be said for musicians too.
Yes.
And that's how I look at all of the band members from Tool. Maynard with his voice and the way that he can manipulate his voice, how he doesn't overpower the music.
Which is because their music is incredible. I mean, there are some bands, some musicians where the vocals are really, really heavy and the music is kind of in the background. Yeah. And then there's some where the music's really, really great and the vocals are part of it, but not, but they are equal.
They take you on a journey.
Yeah, they do.
Every song is different. It doesn't repeat over and over again like most of your typical rock songs. It starts one way and it goes through this entire journey and ends in an incredible way. And Maynard, his vocals on top of that, it's the cream of the crop, I think. So that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody has their favorite.
You really cannot go wrong with music. If you love it, then listen to it. That's it.
Yeah. So
we are a music family. There is not a single day that goes by where we don't have music in our house. There is not a single day. I play music when I get ready in the morning. I play music before I go to bed at night. I play music when I'm cleaning the kitchen. It does not matter. There is music on in our house. It's
tough for me, and it has been ever since I started doing YouTube, because you can't have music playing in a YouTube video.
That's why Instagram has been fun, because you've been able to use it.
Yep, we can use music in
now.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And I know that you can in YouTube. They've improved things over the years, but I just found that it's not even worth trying to go down that road of putting music into the videos because of the copyright.
And we respect artists. We understand that. So
yeah, I understand that too. But really, all the time, I just want to have music jamming in the shop. But since we do a lot of social media, it's really hard to have music playing and record video.
Yes.
So I really enjoy those times when I can just jam music, listen to Tool, and be in the shop doing whatever I'm doing. I really do love those moments.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should wrap this up. I think we've been on for a good solid hour now.
We have.
And I think this was a good conversation. Talking about the machine shop books out there. So hopefully you guys will be able to find some of these. And, some of our favorite music out there. We wanted to talk about that.
I hope you guys look up those people if you don't listen to them.
Yep. If you haven't listened to Tool, give them a try. Listen to the newest album.
Man, it's
so good.
It's so good. Pneuma. Just listen to Pneuma. That's my favorite one on that album. That's just my personal.
Pneuma, Descending.
Oh, they're so good.
And
Descending in the headphones. Descending has a very long opening, and you need to be in the headphones for that one.
And Tempest, that's the last song on the album. I believe I can't remember exactly. It's around 15 minutes long.
We sound like groupies. I'm fine with it.
It's got the greatest instrumental in there, though.
Honestly, if I could ask every single person that's listening right now what their favorite concert is, I would love to know, because There are some incredible artists that I wish I could have seen, like Fleetwood Mac. I never saw Fleetwood Mac. Michael Jackson. I never got to see I was locked in a store with Michael Jackson once, but I did not get to go to the concert. So
I enjoyed the early Michael Jackson stuff, like the Beat It days. I liked that Michael Jackson.
Yeah. All right, well, let's sign off.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we're definitely going to come back and we're going to keep the podcast doing it. You guys seem like you've really enjoyed it. We have really good feedback, and we're going to keep them coming.
That's right.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys on the next episode, all right?